All right, good evening, everybody, all you health coaches out there. This is our weekly coach. We call this Tuesday Tips. It's our health coach huddle up. We try to spend 30 minutes a week giving you the latest and greatest of what Optavia, lots of new ideas, lots of new changes, lots of new tools. Everything's are being updated, and really it's been really fascinating, all the new things that are happening. And so every Tuesday night from 8 to 8:30, we do this. And if you guys want to show up early, we open up the room about 7:30. So if you guys want to show up and some of us like to have a little bit of hang time, a little non-formal discussions about different whatevers, you're welcome to show up here at 7:30 Pacific on Tuesday nights. And so tonight we've got a training. Some of the things that we're gonna talk about tonight. One is about the new health coach kits. So because Optavia is now in full force, we have our old health coach kits with that old company called HCH for Life that are not relevant. And so we've got these new kits. So we're going to be talking about that. We're also going to be talking about one of the tools that's inside that new health coach kit. And then we're going to talk about a concept called structural tension and the concept of setting goals. Sometimes people have a hard time setting long-term goals, and they're better with short-term goals. So we're going to talk about short-term and long-term goal setting. And so I want to hand this over to I believe tonight it's going to be, who's going first? I think Kim's going first, right?
Right. So,
Kim Stewart, yeah. Welcome to the call.
Thanks. I am going to talk a little bit about our new health coaching kit, and I'd love to see how many people have already ordered it or have it. Can you just raise your hand? Maybe this is a moot point. Maybe everybody's all on track. So so first of all, if you have it, I'm totally jealous. Mine apparently isn't going to come here until the 7th of August. So if you have it on its way, congratulations. Those of you that may be coaching as a team, I guess we would just love to encourage you to, if you're both coaching, you probably both need your own binder at a minimum. But how cool is it to have your own branded, whole package, right? Craig was holding up his water bottle. What is just so great about this kit is it comes with a lot of, I'm so jealous. You can keep holding their water bottles up and I'll just be jealous. I feel like I'm not even an Optavia coach without it. So, but it'll be here soon.
Anything you want to demo, you just name it and I'll pull it out and show it. How's that?
It comes with nice notebooks, little, Post-it notes and all kinds of goodies. Like, people are just going to want to be like you because you have this. But more importantly, the most important is, for a long time with Take Shape for Life, we were waiting for kind of that roadmap, right? We were trying to find the tools. And if we were coaching our new coaches, the mentor coach was busy behind the scenes tracking down the right materials at the right time. And the great news is that this is our roadmap and it's all laid out for us. And this kit, along with the Optavia answers for both coaches and clients, is going to make our lives so much easier. So it's really great to see that as a team, I think we are all on board with this. If you're not showing your video and you haven't ordered it yet, I would definitely get your order in. It might take a while to receive your kit. So we're excited, and we'll be continuing to train on different aspects and answer questions as they come along. And some of this process is going to be a little bit fluid. They're getting feedback. But everything I've seen so far is that Optavia is really focused on being simple, clean, duplicatable. And so that's probably what I'm most excited about, is as a mentor coach, being able to pass this along, new coaches knowing exactly what they need to do, having it right in front of them, and being able to walk them through it. So
yeah, one of the things too, and I know you mentioned this, like ordering a full kit, and then if you have two coaches that are coaching, I think it's, if you want to consider it, ordering two full kits for both of you, because it's nice to have the water bottle. It's nice to have, it's kind of your own stuff. But minimally, one of you have the new kits and one of them get a binder. And because the binder's got the file folder system, for those of you that have been around a while, we had a file folder system back in the day. And then through some of the transitions and different things, we went to a different, it was a, what do they call it? Sections? I don't know. They called it something different, and you had to like print it yourself and make it. And that, a lot of people got lost in the shuffle on that. And so we're now back to the file folder systems. And the Lori Anderson created the file folder systems way back in the day. She had a manila envelope, and then she just wrote some notes on it. And then she put the piece of paper with the client and that became the file folder system. And so now we have that again, and it makes it so clear.
Well, it's so cool to have everything organized on your desk too. It's just a great visual reminder. And anytime anything's organized, if it looks organized to me, it just brings my stress level down. So I'm excited about that. I think now are we going to go over to Diane and talk a little bit about one of the tools within that?
Nice segue. You guys are professional.
Yeah, we are. Well, it's really kind of exciting, because a lot of us on this call, and I don't know everybody, but a lot of us have been using what was called the well-being evaluation, which wasn't really, I love it. I'm not saying that I didn't like it, but it took some skill to really, do it with somebody. With this new health assessment, anybody can do it, I think, because the questions are right there. So you ask the question and then they tell you the answer and you write it down. So it's a really duplicatable health assessment, which I think is really great. Now, the well-being evaluation is not going away. So be aware of that. And we will have some discussions at a later date about how we're going to implement that in our coaching. So the other thing you want to be aware of with the health assessment is that it is a work in progress. Okay, so the newest one, and I'm going to give you the website, most of you probably already have it, but the newest one is different from the one I got at National Convention. It's already had some modifications done to it. So to make sure you have the most recent copy of it, you're going to want to go to coachanswers.optavia.com. So that, because it is going to be modified some as leaders talk about it and stuff. Are you going to go right to it, Craig?
Yeah, well, you start with coachanswers.optavia.
Yeah.
And down here where it says business support, and then document library. And then the nice thing is there's a lot of things in here, right? But if you, this little search window here, so what was it called again, Diane?
Health assessment.
So if I type in HEALTHASS, there it is. So if you click on that, then it'll bring up the assessment here. And this is also like fillable, so you can type in the person's name here and get all the information, and then you can save it and then print it. So if you want to do that kind of thing, this allows you to do that.
Yay, which is really convenient, right? So so everybody on this call will want to dive in and start using it. So the simplest way to do that is to do one on somebody, maybe, a friend, your husband, your wife, a new client, and then have someone do one on you, because there's a lot of value going through the process. I did one with a friend of mine, and I asked her, she's not a client at this point. I think she will be at some point, but right now she isn't. I asked her how she felt going through the process, and she said, I felt really heard. So that was some great feedback, right? Because I had a little resistance. I'm going to admit it, because I felt really proficient doing the well-being evaluation. But when she said that, I realized that there's a lot of value in doing this, even though it's new to me, right? Because new is hard sometimes because we're not used to it and we're a little uncomfortable. So I'm just going to tell you to go ahead, dive in, and get someone to do one on you, and then do one on somebody else.
I wonder if you did it with the same person. Like you grab somebody, another coach maybe. There might be some advantages to that. I think there's an advantage to actually doing it with somebody that could actually say yes and be a client too.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So we got a couple hands that came up. Christina, I know you. By the way, if you guys want to raise your hand in Zoom, the host and the host can see that you've raised your hand. And if you go to participants, which is down in the bottom of the Zoom window, and then in that window, you should be able to see something that says raise hand or mute. And if you're on a iPhone, you would click the screen and click on more, I think. And that does that. So Christina, I see you raised your hand perfectly. Nicely done.
So I was just wondering if they're going to update the health assessment, because like I ordered more, so it's in my B Slim order, and so I don't have to pay for shipping because that's ridiculous. But so are they going to update that with the ones that I am ordering?
So I don't know the exact answer, but I'm sure they have to sell the ones they've already printed before they print more. Because it's not like the new ones the old ones won't work at all. And then
it's true.
Won't work. They're pretty similar. But
well, you just end up with let me show you one because it's ridiculous. There's like a million side margin notes all over my assessment, so I'm really hoping that the new one can kind of minimize some of that and also give me room for
they're
other
working
things
out
on the page.
You may have a second piece of paper with that you kind of take some of your notes on, work it out. But this is just an opportunity for people that aren't fluent with the coaching, with what we do, to get the basics they would need to get someone started.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. So I would, my opinion on that would be, I would download the electronic version, fill it out, and then print it.
Yeah, the problem I had with the electronic version, the fillable one, is that you can't adjust the font size and you can't like enter a second line underneath, so you have to really paraphrase.
The newest version is a little bit smaller font that I just saw right now. And so if you fill it out online, the font size is pretty small. So just keep looking at the updated one. And
okay.
They are updating this. I know a number of coaches that are sending them updates, and they are changing this thing daily. Like it's tweaking rapidly. So they're getting a lot of input. And that's really a testament to Optavia, is they really want to get this thing right.
Oh, what, Carrie?
What's that?
Nice. I guess you can type 2 lines instead of just one.
Yeah.
Thank God, because I'm a note taker, man.
Yep. Nice. All right.
I want to know my clients, but I'm telling you, this well-being assessment has been my jam. It has been my absolute jam.
She's done like 8 of them. She's
something like that. Yeah, I'm rocking this well-being this health assessment. I'm loving it.
Yep. Awesome. All right, Clark, you had your hand up. Go ahead. I'll unmute you.
I think the question was answered. The packet that we got in the kit of 25 health assessments has been, there's a new version.
Yes. There's a new version. Yep.
Okay, cool.
mean, and yeah, you can look at the different ones, but there is some questions that they put in that are really, they're really good. So it's getting really good, but yeah, I'm glad they didn't just wait to update the electronic version until they sold out of all the paper ones, right? That would be horrible. So I'm glad they're doing it this way. Anybody else have any questions about where to find the document or the coach answers?
Craig?
Yeah, hi, Linda.
I can't raise my hand on my phone. Gosh darn it. So I'm just.
Let's work on it.
I know. I'm jumping
over
everybody.
Just like this.
Okay.
Nailed it.
This is really simple. I totally nailed it. This is really simple, but it's something that I wouldn't have thought of maybe a couple of years ago. Is I've saved that. Uh-oh. Am I frozen?
No, you're still here.
No. Okay. Craig was still in mid-wave on the screen. Okay. Say the document that you the website you just showed where it had the list. I've saved that. You can save it onto your smartphone on your home screen, because you'll want to go back to. So it's really simple. It's not a big deal, but that made a big difference in keeping things simple. And really, you can go find it really fast. Is have it saved to your home screen rather than having to go to the website.
And so what you guys can do is you can use this tool called Google, and you can say how to save a web page to my home screen. And then if you have Android, type Android. If you have iOS or iPhone, say put iPhone, and it will give you there'll probably be 10 videos on how to do that. And sites that you go to a lot, it's really convenient to have that that web page as a button on your screen, rather than having it a bookmark inside your browser. That's a little bit more not as simple to get to. So you can Google that. Anytime you have a question, Google really does have some pretty cool answers. They've got some people working over there. They're doing some good stuff. That's kind of a joke. I mean, they do, but thanks. I'll be here all night. So anybody else? We're good? All right. So the next thing I want to go into is, so those were the two things. Now we're going to talk about, for example, we have an incentive trip where they've announced it, and there was an experience that I had. One is that part of my lack of growth personally has trickled down into a lot of the team. And so there's some things that I do that are challenging to me, that are, that I just do. And there's certain things that are challenging that I'm not good at, I'm weak at. And one of those things is setting long-term goals. They freak me out, quite frankly. And so I don't want to do them. It stresses me out. And so I had a coach working with me, and she said, I thought you did tough things. Basically she called me out. And she said, go get a piece of paper and a pen, and let's figure out, I don't know if you can make it to the incentive trip and go to, wherever, Dominican Republic, but wouldn't you like to know, if you could go, how it would be possible? And I said, well, I guess I don't really want to go there. And so I had all these concepts in my head. Literally, folks, I just went there for my 25th wedding anniversary this year to Punta Cana, the exact same place. And so I'm thinking, I don't need to go there. But this experience was so valuable to me, I wanted to bring it up to all of you guys. Because what happened in the process of seeing what was necessary to get there, I experienced the power of structural tension, because instead of it being a chore to figure out, once I saw what was necessary, my mind started working subconsciously to figure out the details. It was this powerful, amazing thing. And so I've done this with a few of you one-on-one. I did one with Alex today, and it just made so much sense. And so what I'd love to do now, with the time that we have left, we're going to just take 5 or 6 minutes on this. I've got a Excel spreadsheet that I worked with some other coaches to create, and it will show you how to change the numbers around to see what you need to do to get there. And some of you will think, wow, that's overwhelming. And so I want you to just stop for a minute, take a breath. You don't have to do this in August. You have 6 luxurious, long 6 months in Optavia is a long time, right? And some of these points, all of the health coaches that would come onto your team, if you did all of the work up front and all of them popped the last month, you would still get all the points for it. So it doesn't really matter when they pop, it's just that they pop, okay? So I'm going to pull up my screen here, and I'm wondering if one of you guys would like to we're going to talk about frontline volume. We're going to talk about potential coaches. We're going to talk about people that are, thinking about coaching. So who wants to go? Who would like to walk through this with me? Clark? Okay, great. All right, so let's bring Clark on. I'm going to share my screen. So this will show you the little document, and I can get you guys the copy of this. So for people that are a little afraid of spreadsheets, look at the colors. Pretty. Okay, don't worry about all the spreadsheet stuff. There's just pretty colors here. All right. So over on the left here, it says the criteria. Criteria to get to 600 points, because you need 600 points. One of the super powerful pieces about the incentive trip last year and the incentive trip this year is the way to earn it hasn't changed. For those of you that have been around a while, every year there was new things you'd have to focus on and new stuff you had to do. And so it sort of sucked all the creative juices out of me just trying to figure out the points. The points are all the same. I love that. So for every $300 in frontline volume, you get 1 point, right? This is nothing new. You get 10 points for a new coach that signs up their first client within 30 days. 10 points. And then a senior coach gets 30. And then executive director or any higher rank above executive director, regional, national, you get 50 points. All right. And then the big one here is this multiplier. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But this multiplier is where some of the magic can really happen. And so we had one coach that they saw this. Terry Miller was telling me about. She signed up 9 coaches in 1 month. Do you think she was having excited about coaching? Yes. Do you think she was interviewing people and talking to them about it? I'm sure she was. And coaching looked really exciting to 9 people, and they said yes. So Clark, July, do you know what your frontline volume was for July?
$7,200.
Okay, so we'll go 7,200. So the tracker on the right side here, N3, that is a known quantity because July is gone. So we can put the real numbers in here. Now he has 24 points. He needs 576. Okay. Did you sign up any new health coaches in July?
No.
No. Okay. Did you have anybody that was a first-time senior coach?
No.
No. Okay. Any new EDs or above?
It has to be a first-time senior coach?
First time. All of these are first-timers.
Okay. No.
Okay. So you got nothing here? That's fine. Do you have any FIBCs on your team?
I do not.
Okay. All right. So an FIBC, for those that don't know, it's someone that has a minimum of $6,000 in frontline volume and 5 team members or coaches that each have 5 clients, which that's a senior coach. That means you're an FIBC. Okay. So let's go. So what do you usually average in frontline volume?
Right around there.
About 7,200? Okay. Yeah. So do you think that over these next few months, like if you were to bump that to 8,000, it's 350. That's about 3 more clients. Do you think you could average 3 more clients?
Yes.
You could. So you could bump that to 8?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Could you so we're going to just say over here 8,000. So now out of 8,000 over 6 months, he's going to be 186 points. So he needs 414. So this is where we play with the numbers. We see what's necessary. The green is what we've actually done. Okay. Now, do you have some people that are clients now that have been talking about health coaching or showing some interest?
4.
4 of them. Okay. Give me a name.
First one is Ben.
Ben. Okay. And Ben's not any of these, not a health coach or anything.
No, he's been a client, but not a health coach.
Okay. Who's another name?
Chris.
Okay.
Sherry.
Sherry?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the 4th one is, name's gone. Audra. Okay. Andrea. Sorry.
Andrea. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now do you think there's a good chance that somewhere in the next 6 months they'll become a health coach and help one person? You have a pretty good idea of that?
Chris, Andrea, and you can add one more to it.
Okay.
I met her today. She's talking about coaching. Dorothy.
Dorothy. Dorothy. Okay. So Dorothy will be and so by the way, one of the things that Becca Tinter said at our convention, she said if you're going to bring someone on as a health coach, the first goal that you set for them is senior coach. So becoming health coach is just the technical thing you do to help people. And when you help people, you want to bring them to 5. If they don't want to help 5 people, the work involved won't be worth it. It's a lot of work to help. If you just coach 2 people, the work to coach those people successfully, you might as well just refer people. So assume that all coaches go senior. All coaches, they're going to help 5 people because they want to help people, and 5 is better than 0. Always. And say, right? And so let's just assume back on our chart here that all these people that are going to be health coaches are also going to be senior coaches, right? So we kind of just do our little worksheet there. So that means that you have 1, 2, 3. So 3 new health coaches and 3 new senior coaches. Now you need 294 points. So you're over halfway. Now let's say that one of those people, do any of those people show like a good sphere of influence, and you think that they maybe have the qualities to move to build a little bit of a team or to help at least 17 to 18 people?
Chris.
Chris is? Okay.
And definitely Ben.
And Ben. So Ben would be all 3 of these then, because he's not a health coach. So that means this moves to 4, this moves to 4, and then 2 EDs. Now you're looking at 154 points necessary left. So you could so as you're looking at that, you can say, well, do I need some more people to be focusing on? Now, what about Sherry? You think Sherry has health coach potential? And does she have a sphere of influence that could help 5?
She does.
Okay. So let's add 2 more for this to be 5 total. And this would be 5 total here. So now we're 114 points. We don't know these people do it, but if they have a potential and they like coaching, the likelihood that they do over 6 months, again, that's a long time. So you might need a couple more people, or you might need to ask all 3 of these people if they have the heart to help 17 or to 20 people. And if they do, that's one way to hit ED. But you don't know right now. So what I would do as an action item is I would connect with all these, with all potential coaches, and talk about cast some vision, right? What would it, and the questions would be, what would it be like if you were to help 5 people? And if you did, who would those people be? And if you could help them change their lives, what would that look like? So you want to get into the people side of it, because we got numbers here, but we also have people here. And we don't want it all to be about numbers. We don't want it all to be about people. It's got to be the combination of the 2, right? And so, and this is the FIB consistency. So let's say you have one of these people, and this may be a challenge, but in 6 months to go FIBC, if I'd find people to help 5, okay, that's its own track. Maybe that takes you a couple months of intentional focus, and then you get to $6,000 in frontline volume, which you're already there. So you help somebody else do what you've done, and you might have 1, and so that gets 10% if they stay FIBC. This is, again, if 1 person stays over the 7 months. So this is just, like I said, it's a chart where you're going to start playing with some numbers, and it's this purple piece here was really important to me because we want to talk about the actual people. Ben is a person. Chris is a real human being. Sherry's life matters. So you're gonna start thinking about these people and interacting with them. So your brain's gonna start moving that direction. So what kind of feedback, or what do you think in your mind? Any other thoughts?
As far as my thoughts on this?
Yeah. So you may need a couple more coaches. So they may be a mystery coach.
I need Liz and Eddie on there.
Liz and Eddie. Oh, wow. Okay. They're the same people or different?
Oh, 2 different people.
Wow. Great. I meant, are they a married team or are they separate?
No, they're separate.
Right. And so let's say so if let's say they can at least go senior coach. So that means this is going to go 7 and 7. Now you're 34 points away, Clark.
Mm-hmm.
So all of a sudden your path.
That's frontline volume.
You could make that up with frontline volume.
Yeah. So let's say you move that up to 8,600. And now you're 20 points away. Let's just say you were able to crank up to 9,000. You're 10 points away. So again, you can play. I'll share this doc with you so you have it. But you can play with these numbers and figure it out. Maybe you have 3 EDs. You're there, even at 8,000 in volume. You're still there. And so the power of this is not that you necessarily want to go on this trip, but you put this thing out there and you contrast that from where you are, and then you start running some scenarios. If I could, and this is the question that I asked Christina before we went to conference, I know you can't go to Dallas, right? Remember that conversation, Christina? I know you can't go because she told me she couldn't go. I said, I know. But if you could go, what would be some of the things we'd need to figure out in order to get you there? And I don't know about you, but I saw her in Dallas. Did all you guys see her there? Yeah, she was there, right? So she started working the what do I need to solve? What do I need to solve? And so I don't know about you, but I would be thrilled to go to Dominican Republic with you guys. I really like you as people. And now think of it. In order to get there, we're going to have to touch a bunch of people's lives. We're going to have intentional conversations. We're going to have people help people get on program, right? Isn't that what we do? Don't we love that? So if we started being intentional about relationships, and I'm going to spend some time with Ben, and I'm going to spend some time with Chris, because those are the 2 people that I think will go ED. Okay, so now how's that going to change my actions, right? So I want you guys to not be overwhelmed with like, ooh, this is too tough. You don't have to do this month. A couple things you want to focus on is making sure your frontline volume is paying attention, because you get that every month, right? And that builds up over time with points. But then you pop one senior coach at any month, and you get the points for that. Clark, go ahead.
Yeah, and if you back that up even further, if you get 2 clients per 10 shares, you can evaluate how many people you need to talk to. Mm-hmm. You can go further than that. 5 people that join, 1's a coach. So you're adding more names than I have already after that.
Yeah. So so the specifics are there. I want to step back and talk about the experience of actually seeing it come to life for you, but for anybody else that saw this exercise. If you have comments on that. Anybody have a comment? Yeah, go ahead, Maureen. Let me unmute you. Oh, you're good.
Yeah, I was going to say thank you very much, both Craig, you having the visuals, and Clark for setting the example. Because for me, I'm so visual, I like to see it. And when you were plugging in the numbers, you did say you were going to let us.
Yeah, I'll give you the master copy and show you how to make copies of it for yourself.
Because that to me kind of paints the picture on what I need to do and the work I need to do, because obviously I would love to go on the trip with all of you here.
I know, right? Because I just went there without you, and it was pretty cool. But going there with you would be really cool.
So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Who else? A comment?
I'll say something.
Yeah.
I am an accountant, and so I work with Excel spreadsheets all the time, and this is basically what they use to plan and to forecast in business. And so this is awesome, because you at any given moment can see where you're at and what you need to do to make something happen. So I'm really excited about this, and so thank you, Craig.
We're going through this tomorrow, Deb, you and I.
I know we are. So that's why I'm excited. So
yeah. So one of the things about that, maybe you're not a planner. I'm not. I pretty much show up and the party starts, right? I don't think too much about it 5 minutes before it happens, right? But this helped me to say, wow, what if I was more intentional? And I pushed through the scaredy catness of this on this awkward thing, and I just said, well, I'm probably not going to go, but if I were going to go, just like with, if I was going to go to Dominican Republic, next year, how would I get there? And so this super helped me. So I'm going to show you basically how to make your own copy. So and then we'll be done. So I'm going to share this document in the OHC, and it'll be called the Master Blaze Tracker. You will not be able to edit this, right? What you want to go is go to File. Clark, can you guys see what I'm talking about here? Good. Yeah, you can? Okay.
What is the OHC?
Oh, sorry. The Optavia Health Coach. It's our health coach page. I know you're part of Brian Troy's team, so I'll get it to you. Actually, Troy's got it. But when I say OHC, that's just our slang for our health coach secret Facebook group. Yeah, and it sounds cool. It's like a gang term. People like it. So what you do is you go up here to File, and you go down to Make a Copy, right? And then once you make a copy, you change it to your name, and then it'll save it into your Google Drive, or it'll save it there, but you'll be able to see it on the screen. And so then you can go in here and play with these numbers. If you want to go through this with me, book an appointment with me, and it'll take 15 minutes. We'll go through it. I'll even make you your own copy so you don't have to worry about that if that overwhelms you. But you got to book an appointment with me, and then we'll walk through it together. So any questions before we finish up? Yes, Maureen, go ahead. Oh, there you go.
So Craig, how do we book an appointment? Is that on the OHC?
Yes, in the description of OHC is
Okay.
my Google Calendar booking linky. Link.
Okay.
Is that what it's called? A linky? Probably not.
I was also going to mention I was working on my map because I wanted to get that done.
Uh-huh.
There's the new, I don't know if everybody's seen the new Optavia one.
Oh, nice.
So I went under the same thing, coachanswers.optavia.com. Is it I think it's .com. And,
Yeah, it is. Uh-huh.
and I did the search, and I put map on there, and it came up.
Here's another interesting thing. I don't know if you guys realize this, but check this one out. The well-being assessment, well-being evaluation. Hello. Do you see that? This is that same one we've been using forever, but now it says Optavia.
Okay.
And actually it looks like I need to help them with this right here because it still says Take Shape for Life. So we'll get them to change that here shortly. Anyway, I can see they're working hard. They're rebranding lots of stuff. So, all right, guys. Well, that's going to conclude our meeting for today. So if you want to set a meeting with me to go over this, or if for those of you that Alex is your mentor, I just walked him through one of these, so you're welcome to meet with him as well. But I'd love to meet with you. So either way is fine with me. And but I want to encourage you to push through the uncomfortableness because I'm a chicken, right? I'm the grand chicken leader here, and I did not want to do this. Terry Miller's been asking me about going to the conference, the incentive trips for 3 years. And I've just sort of, nah. And it's because I was chicken. I didn't have those muscles to set goals for long term, right? And so finally just doing it, my eyes opened up and I was like, wait a minute. I can do this. And my mind just started working it. And it wasn't a lot of effort once I saw the structure. So I want to encourage you guys to just, even if it's just for an exercise, do it, because I think the process will be worth it for you. So, all right, you guys, we'll see you next time. Thanks for your attention. We'll see you next week.